I hope this picks this up. I'm not using a mic today with this. I was sitting here thinking, I just said to Courtney, if Danny was out here with me, like we could have sat and brought the football with us and kind of thrown the football around. And I got 3 lines in the water right now. I could have did it a little differently, but I could set 2 more up and have 5 in, spread them out a little bit and kind of use them like a tip up or a tip down for whatever, and put spikes on them or a minnow or whatever, and have a little setup right here, and him and I could have thrown the football around. And I said to her, you know, even though I may or may not, I'm just out here goofing around, but in the middle of the day, on a bright sunny day, no less, in shallow water, yada yada yada, whatever, I could easily come out here and catch fish, and just as easily not. You know, and I always say to Courtney, I'm like, listen, I don't care so much anymore about catching the fish. It's everything else that goes along with it, and just the beautiful day. And then I have days like Saturday, this past Saturday. So this is day 3 of ice fishing. You know, we got out on Sodas Bay on Saturday. Wasn't where I wanted to end up. I wanted to go to Fairhaven. I ended up all the way out in Sodas. Never fished it before. Stopped into Bay Bridge Sports Shop. The guy was great. He was awesome. And within 10 seconds, you know, I said, listen, where do I go? I'm brand new. Just point me in the right direction. I bought a couple things as a thank you. He gave me great information. And out the door, and we went. We get out there, drill the holes, get the shanty set up. You know, I'm showing Danny what to do and get the jig down to the bottom, and I already got a fish on. It's small, but I'm like, doesn't matter. They're here. Great. Get everybody else set up, and I might have caught 10 fish in 2 hours, and there wasn't one of them over 3.5 inches long, 4 inches tops. And I'm like, this blows, and nobody else caught anything. Danny caught one little one about 3.5 inches long, and you know, and that was that. It was and I was pissed all day because it didn't go the way I wanted it to. We started out in Fairhaven, but you know, I couldn't find a single report online, nothing about little sodas out there. So I said, screw it, I'm going out there anyway. If we can get on the ice, the perch fishing is good and easy, and it's a small bay, and there's a couple spots where they're going to be, and you can walk to it. Get out there, ice is shot. You know, it was probably open. The wind coming in off the big lake, and you know, there's nobody out there way down in the south end, but that's shallow down there, and I didn't want to fish that. So we go to Sodas, and I was pissed all day because we didn't catch shit. Courtney said to me jokingly, but it wasn't. She was right. You know, she's like, stop being a hypocrite. You say all the time you don't care about catching a fish, but that's not true, because you really do, to the point where it's upsetting you and it's ruining your time with us and doubt. You know, and I'm like, Jesus, I didn't mean that to happen. And it really doesn't matter to me about catching the fish, so to speak. But listen, not for nothing, fishing's always better. It's better when you're successful. So why not aim to be successful every day, every time, everything you do? Not just fishing, but in this case, fishing. That's what I do most of. So, you know, put the time in. Make sure you leader down. Make sure you tie fresh knots. Make sure you sharpen hooks. Make sure you check your tackle. Make sure you go through everything, put new line on, and make sure the line, you know, doesn't have memory from your ice reel from last year. You know, nothing like trying to find a bottom. You know, trying to find bottom with a light jig with a coil in the hole. You know, and you're like, oh, fuck, you gotta straighten it out. And do that beforehand, before you get out there, and you make yourself more successful. You have more of a chance for success. Because anything is better when you're doing it better than worse. I can't think of anything that's worse that I prefer. I don't know. So I do care about catching the fish. She said, don't say it anymore if it's not true. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I do care about catching the fish, but it's just different degrees now. You know, you want to have a level of expectation of success, but if that expectation gets out of control, then nothing can live up to it. And as soon as things start to snowball, one thing goes wrong, then the next, and you're like, you know, and then you're shot. You're in a mental state of mind that is unrepairable. At least for me. So boom. So it's always better to do better. And two, like when I share fishing with people, and I share it with her and Danny and my family or my friends or my clients, I want to share the joy of it. And it's always more joyful when you're successful. That's just how it works, So I always want them to feel that joy in being successful at it, because it hooks people very quickly. It's hard not to. It's fun. Fishing is great. Fishing is so many things. Fishing is amazing. And it's not just the act of catching the fish, but it sure is sweeter when that all comes together, repeatedly, and you start putting that pattern together, and you can go and get, that time of happiness whenever you want it. And fishing can slow you down and speed you up at the same time in different ways. It's awesome. So, I have to be careful what I say now. I do not solely care. Oh, there you go. I do not solely care about catching fish. And I don't mind the times when I don't, depending on the circumstances. But it's always better when you do. All right.